Ladies and gentlemen, friends, foes, and all you lovely bystanders, let me tell you a little story. A tale of expectations turned upside down, of plots twisted in ways they never saw coming. You see, they thought they had you figured out. They thought they could keep chipping away, pushing, taunting, dragging you to the edge of your sanity until you broke. They thought that in the end, you would beg for the answers they held over your head. They thought they knew exactly how far they could push you before you shattered into pieces. They expected weakness. They expected desperation. But what they didn't count on, what they didn't prepare for, was that you were already ready to walk away. How many times have they looked you in the eye and thought they could break you? How many times have they put you in situations that felt impossible, waiting for you to crumble under the weight of their demands, their expectations, their lies? How many times have they tried to make you beg for something, anything, just to give you a taste of their so-called truth, the answer to their manipulations, the justification for their cruelty, the meaning of all the suffering they put you through? They thought you needed it. They thought you would break down, beg them, fall to your knees, and plead for the very thing they held over you. But what they didn't understand, what they could never understand, is that you were never meant to beg. That was never the plan. The plan was never to give in, or to lose yourself in their labyrinth of manipulation. You were never meant to collapse under the weight of their questions, their expectations, their demands. You were meant to walk away, and they didn't see it coming, did they? They thought they knew your breaking point. They thought they could push you just a little further, make you question yourself, make you doubt your strength, make you feel small and insignificant. And then, at the final moment, when you were gasping for breath, when your resolve seemed to shatter, they thought they could finally step in, dangle the answers in front of you, and claim their victory. But instead, you surprised them. You caught them off guard. You looked at their game, their manipulation, their power play, and you simply walked away. You stopped begging. You stopped pleading for validation. You stopped seeking answers from people who never had any intention of providing them. You looked at the chaos they created, the web of lies they spun, and instead of getting lost in it, you stepped out. You left it behind. You walked away. And in that moment, in that beautiful, terrifying moment, when you turned your back on everything they thought you wanted, everything they thought you needed, you discovered something that was always there, but that they had kept hidden from you. You realized that the real power was never in their hands. It was always within you. You were never meant to beg for anything. You were always meant to stand up and walk away. They thought they could break you. They thought they could twist your mind, make you question your worth, make you believe that your very existence depended on their approval. But the truth is, you never needed their approval. You never needed their answers. You were always whole. You were always strong. You were always capable of walking away. You see, they were so wrapped up in their own sense of power, in their own delusions of control, that they never saw the truth. The truth that you had already walked away. Not physically, not yet, but in your heart and mind, you had already made the decision. You had already chosen to free yourself from their grasp, long before they thought they could manipulate you into submission. They expected you to crumble. They expected you to fall apart. They thought that, in the end, you would be desperate enough to beg them for answers. But the thing they never understood is that the moment you stop begging for answers, the moment you stop waiting for their permission to move forward, is the moment you reclaim your power. You see, they may have tried to break you, but every time they did, they made you stronger. With every question they asked, with every demand they placed upon you, with every manipulation they used, they forged you into something they could never understand. They thought they were chiseling away at your soul, but what they didn't see is that with each strike, you became more unshakable. Every attempt they made to wear you down only pushed you closer to the truth that they were never in control. You were. There is a moment in every struggle, a moment when you realize the game they're playing is not one you need to be a part of. When you see that the endless questions they ask, the promises they break, the manipulations they use, are not meant to help you grow, but to keep you trapped in a cycle of dependency. It's in that moment when you finally see through the smoke and mirrors that you understand the answers they're offering were never the ones you needed. You were never supposed to ask for their answers. You were meant to create your own. And that realization, that awakening, is the moment you stop begging. It's the moment you stop waiting for them to give you the truth. It's the moment you stop looking for the answers in places that will never provide them. You stop chasing what you can never catch, and you start walking away. They thought they were controlling you. They thought they were making you weak, making you beg. But the real irony is that the more they tried to break you, the more they were strengthening you, and they never even realized it. You see, they believed that power lies in answers. They believed that by withholding information, by keeping you in the dark, by forcing you to ask the same questions over and over, they could control you. But what they failed to see is that answers are overrated. What really matters is the ability to walk away from the questions that don't serve you. What matters is the ability to realize that the answers you seek were never outside of you. They were always within you. And that, my friends, is where they made their fatal mistake. Because once you realized that you didn't need their answers, you didn't need their approval, their recognition, or their validation, once you realized that you could define your own worth, you became unstoppable. There's a power that comes with letting go, a power that comes with walking away from people and situations that drain you, a power that comes when you stop waiting for someone else to decide your fate. It's the power of self-determination, the power of knowing that no one, not even them, holds the keys to your future. The moment you realize that, they lose their control over you. They lose their grip on your soul. They lose everything. They were playing a game of power and control, and they thought you were just another pawn in their little scheme, but you weren't. You were always the one holding the chess pieces. You were always the one who could move in any direction you chose. They tried to trap you in a box of their own design, but they never saw that the box they built for you was nothing more than a cage they themselves would soon be trapped in. Now, as you stand here, free from the web of lies they tried to spin around you, you realize that the true victory is not in the answers you've received, but in the strength you've gained from walking away. The power was never in their hands, it was always in yours. So let them wonder, let them try to figure out where you went, why you stopped begging, why you stopped playing their game. Let them ask themselves what happened to the person they thought they could control, because in the end, it wasn't them who held the answers, it was you. And when they finally realize this, when they finally see that you don't need their answers, that you never needed their permission, it will be too late. They will have lost everything. They will have lost you. In conclusion, they expected you to beg for answers. They thought they could wear you down, twist your mind, and make you desperate for what they held over you. But you didn't beg. You were never meant to beg. You were meant to walk away. And when you did, you not only left behind the lies, the manipulation, and the chaos, they lost their power over you. The moment you stopped waiting for them to give you the answers, you took control of your own fate. You stopped begging. You started walking. And that, my friends, is what will always make you unstoppable.